This one vitamin can slow aging. Are you getting enough? For the longest time, I was convinced that aging was an unstoppable force, a relentless march of time that would inevitably leave its mark on my body with wrinkles, creaky joints, and a fading vitality I couldn't outrun. That was my mindset until a chance encounter flipped my entire perspective upside down. I met a doctor, a spry, energetic 62-year-old who could have easily passed for someone just over 40. His skin was smooth and taut, his posture upright, and his eyes sparkled with a youthful vigor that defied his birth certificate. I couldn't help myself. I had to know his secret. Was it a rigorous workout routine? A closet full of high-end skincare products? Some cutting-edge medical treatment? When I finally asked, his answer hit me like a bolt from the blue. Vitamin K2. That's it. Just 3 little syllables naming a nutrient I'd barely heard of, let alone considered a game-changer. But as he explained its power, backed by years of medical expertise and a mountain of research, I realized this obscure vitamin might be the key to slowing aging in ways no cream, serum, or spa treatment ever could. Dermatologists rave about its skin-saving potential, cardiologists praise its artery-protecting magic, and osteoporosis experts call it a bone health essential. So what makes vitamin K2 so special? Let's dive deep into the science, the benefits, and why you might be missing out on this anti-aging powerhouse without even knowing it. Because if a 62-year-old doctor can look 2 decades younger thanks to K2, there's hope for all of us. First, K2 prevents wrinkles from the inside out. When you think about wrinkles, your mind probably jumps to external fixes, moisturizers, retinoids, or sunblock. But what if I told you that one of the biggest culprits behind aging skin isn't just what's hitting it from the outside, but what's happening on the inside? Calcium, that mineral we all know as a bone builder, can turn traitor when it's not managed properly. Left unchecked, it doesn't just settle into your skeleton, it can deposit in all the wrong places, like your skin and blood vessels. In your skin, misplaced calcium contributes to calcification, a process where tiny deposits harden tissues, leading to age spots, a loss of elasticity, and those fine lines that creep up faster than they should. Enter vitamin K2, the unsung hero acting like a meticulous traffic cop. K2 activates proteins, specifically matrix GLA protein, MGP, that shuttle calcium away from soft tissues and into your bones and teeth, where it belongs. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that higher K2 intake correlates with less arterial and tissue calcification, which translates to smoother, more resilient skin over time. Without enough K2, your skin support structure weakens, collagen breaks down faster, and you're left with a complexion that ages before its time. Think of it as an internal anti-aging treatment. No needles, no fuss. Just a nutrient doing its job to keep your face looking firm and youthful from the cellular level up. That doctor I met. His wrinkle-free glow wasn't luck. It was K2 steering calcium clear of his skin for over 20 years. Second, K2 keeps your arteries young by a decade. Aging isn't just skin deep, it's in your blood vessels, too, where stiff, clogged arteries can sap your energy, spike your blood pressure, and raise your risk of heart trouble. Here's where vitamin K2 shines again, proving it's not a one-trick pony. A groundbreaking 10-year study from the Netherlands, published in Thrombosis and Hemostasis, tracked over 4,800 adults and found something jaw-dropping. Those with higher K2 intake, around 45 micrograms daily, had arteries that were more flexible and less calcified, functioning as if they were over a decade younger than those of people deficient in K2. How does it work? K2 activates another protein, osteocalcin, which prevents calcium from hardening your arterial walls, a process called vascular calcification that's a silent killer behind heart attacks and strokes. Flexible arteries mean better blood flow, lower blood pressure, and a heart that doesn't have to work overtime just to keep you going. For older adults, this isn't just about longevity. It's about vitality, the kind that lets you climb stairs without huffing, chase grandkids without pausing, and feel robust well into your later years. The Dutch researchers estimated that every 10 micrograms of K2 daily slashes heart disease risk by 9%, a stat that makes this vitamin a cardiovascular fountain of youth. That 62-year-old doctor's youthful energy? It wasn't just his face. His arteries were in on the secret, too. Third, K2 strengthens bones and fights osteoporosis. We've all heard the mantra, calcium for strong bones, right? Pop a calcium pill, drink your milk, and you're set, or so we think. But here's the shocking twist. Calcium alone isn't enough, and without vitamin K2, it's like sending a package without an address. Sure, you're getting the raw material, but it's not reaching its destination. K2 steps in as the delivery system, ensuring calcium binds to your bones rather than drifting into your arteries or kidneys. Hello, kidney stones. Without it, you're at risk of osteoporosis, brittle, fragile bones that snap under pressure, despite chugging milk or swallowing supplements. A study in Osteoporosis International found that women with higher K2 intake had denser bones and a 50% lower fracture risk over a decade. Japan offers a real-world clue. Their traditional diet includes natto, a fermented soy dish loaded with K2, up to 1,000 micrograms per serving, and their osteoporosis rates are strikingly lower than in Western countries, where K2-rich foods are scarce. My grandmother fractured her hip in a fall, and I can't help but wonder if K2 could have fortified her bones against that fate. For aging adults, this isn't just about avoiding breaks, it's about standing tall, walking confidently, and dodging the frailty that steals independence. K2 doesn't just slow aging, it builds a skeleton that holds you up through the years. Are you getting enough K2? Sources and signs you might be lacking. So, where do you find this miracle worker? Vitamin K2 isn't as ubiquitous as its cousin, vitamin K1, found in leafy greens for blood clotting, but it's hiding in some delicious places, if you know where to look. Fermented foods are the jackpot. Natto, a sticky, pungent Japanese staple, is the K2 king, packing 850 to 1,000 micrograms per 100 grams. Not a fan of its acquired taste? Aged cheeses like Gouda or Edam deliver a solid 50 to 75 micrograms per ounce, thanks to the fermentation process that boosts K2 levels. Egg yolks from pasture-raised hens offer about 15 to 30 micrograms each, while grass-fed butter or beef liver chip in smaller doses. The catch: if your diet leans heavily on processed foods, think fast food, sugary snacks, or plain steamed veggies, you're likely coming up short. Most Western diets average just 10 to 20 micrograms of K2 daily, far below the 45 to 100 micrograms experts like those from the Rotterdam study suggest for optimal benefits. Signs of deficiency are sneaky. No obvious rash or fatigue, just gradual clues like stiffer joints, more visible veins, or bones that feel less sturdy over time. That doctor I met had been eating K2-rich foods since his 40s. Natto with breakfast, cheese as a snack, and it paid off in a body that looks and moves 20 years younger. If your plate rarely sees these foods, K2 might be the missing piece you didn't know you needed. The takeaway: a doctor's secret to defying time. That 62-year-old doctor wasn't just lucky, he was strategic. Starting K2 in his 40s, he built a foundation that's kept him vibrant, with skin that glows, arteries that flex, and bones that stand strong. Now, at an age when many slow down, he's still practicing medicine, hiking on weekends, and turning heads with a youthfulness that defies logic. His secret isn't a fluke, it's vitamin K2, a nutrient that dermatologists, cardiologists, and bone experts agree can slow aging in ways we're only beginning to fully grasp. Imagine this: fewer wrinkles etching your face because calcium's staying out of your skin, a heart pumping strong because your arteries aren't clogged, and bones that hold you up instead of letting you down, all from a vitamin you can start embracing today. Toss a spoonful of natto into your diet, or cheese if that's more your speed. Crack an egg yolk into your scramble, or talk to your doctor about a K2 supplement, like -7 Malawian kwaches, the long-acting form. I wish I'd known about K2 sooner. Maybe my grandmother's story would have ended differently. But you've got the chance now, to slow the clock, to age on your terms, to live with the vigor of someone decades younger. Is K2 the missing link in your anti-aging arsenal? There's only one way to find out. Start today, and let your body tell the tale.